Alright, part 2. Welcome back, everyone. Chihaya is still kicking ass here. I also highly recommend this game because it's a pretty solid flight sim. So, it's an arcade style shooter. Generally a pretty fun game, so I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a fan of the Idolm master.
So those bastards think they can barge into someone's house without even calling first. Unbelievable. I say we teach them a few manners before we kick them out.
Yeah, also teaching them a lesson. Ass kicking right here. I've heard that in Japan an Idolmaster game is going to be released for the Wii, and also a series of Idolmaster games are going to be released for the PSP, and I think the first game in that series has already been released, if not all of them.
Missile struck target.
Your SP weapons have a longer lock-on range than your regular missiles, so they're good for long-range fighting. They also have an easier time tracking the enemy. Your regular missiles, you have to, I guess, get them in a range, sort of, within, like, in your middle of your crosshairs. And then, if you do that, your missiles have a better lock-on capabilities and will follow the enemy better.
In gun range.
And they're more likely to take out the enemy plane in a single hit.
Radar lock. Watch out! The enemy has a lock on you!
I'd say Chihaya is probably my favorite idol of them all. Not just because of her voice, but because of her personality. She's humble, kind of a perfectionist. But they just had to turn her into a bitch in the Xenoglossia anime, which is one of my main complaints about it.
Enemy chopper down.
I don't think any of the idol girls should have been villains in that anime. But nevertheless, the story is pretty complex for a spin-off anime.
Ghost time. How are things on the ground? We've managed to stave them off so far, but we've got to stay on constant alert.
Okay, these are the last batch of target enemies. The required enemies.
Shamrock, roger that. I'm on the attack. Garuda 1, Fox 3.
And that does it.
You don't waste any time. Nice kill.
Thank you, Shamrock.
The Estovakian threat level is even lower now. Drive them out of Ameria.
Oh shit. Is that Arsenal gear? Yeah, I admit it kinda does look like Arsenal gear from Metal Gear Solid 2. Except it flies in the air. If you don't know, Arsenal gear from Metal Gear Solid 2 is kind of like the ultimate Metal Gear, is that it has control over the entire US military network. However, it was confined to the sea. And it was protected by at least 20 mass-produced Metal Gear Rays, which you have to fight. And the boss fight where you fight each of those Metal Gear Rays is probably one of the most exhilarating boss fights I've ever played.
What's this? Missiles?
I kind of fly low to avoid those explosions.
Oh, number 3, your radio's down. Number 3, where are you? Somebody in a cruise missile was suspended in midair. Have our plane
All hell breaks loose.
What the hell was that? Where are they coming from?
And later on in the game, you do get to take on that giant arsenal gear, the giant aerial arsenal gear kind of thing. It's not called arsenal gear, obviously. That's just what I like to call it.
What about our city? What about Grace Maria?
Try to take out this plane here.
Hey, on your side. Is it Chihaya cup working?
That was somebody else. I did not take down my ally. Or a bunch of these elite fighter fighters called Strigan to show up. Later on in the game, you get to fight a whole bunch of them. You don't have to take them down here in this mission.
A large-scale explosion has apparently occurred in midair. No further details as yet. I repeat.
Which direction are the missiles coming from? Right or left? This is Ghost Eye to all planes. Air Defense Command has ordered an evacuation. You've been ordered to give up Grace Maria. Break away from this airspace.
Yeah, that's how I had to complete the mission. I just had to leave the area.
We can't comply with that order. We are militarily at a huge disadvantage. Comply with the order and head west. This is Avalanche. We're not going anywhere. Listen! It's only temporary. The plan is to withdraw, meet up with all
This
remaining
game is a
forces
pretty
from
decent
this area.
story. However, I heard that Ace Combat 4 for the PlayStation 2 has a much better story. And pretty much the best story of all the Ace Combat games.
We really should get out of here.
This is the only Ace Combat game I've played so far.
Target kill confirmed. That's it, Pusher. Looking good. We're going to sweep America under the rug.
So yeah, Chihaya kicks ass.
Careful now. The enemy has you on radar. We'll come. Garuda team, you're about to exit the combat zone. Maintain your course west to leave the airspace.
I don't know what the creators of Xenoglossia were thinking in making Chihaya an evil bitch who's into, I guess, S&M and crazy shit like that.
Just a little longer. I promise.
Alright, that's pretty much it for this mission here. I show a little bit of the replay here. Boom! He got pwned.
Ghost Eye to Garuda 1 Talisman and Garuda 2 Shamrock. We are currently in a state of emergency.
The replays kind of look like the replays in Halo 3.
Do whatever you can to fend off the invasion.
You can save replays if you want to watch them later on.
Garuda 1, you call the shots.
Where the hell am I supposed to evacuate these people?
I have a few more seconds left, so I'll wrap it up here. Next video, we'll get back to my
Our military
Silent
has
Hill
escaped
Let's Play.
destruction because of your valiant efforts on the battlefield. But our capital,
And
Grace Maria, has been temporarily occupied by Estavakian forces.
That's pretty
And our
much
central
all, so
government
until
has been
next
usurped
time,
by them as
Mr.
well.
Mir,
The
keep
nation
on
of
hanging in
Estavakia
there.
had declared war with our country as it simultaneously launched a surprise attack on Grace Maria. In response, the Republic of Imeria's political